If you've ever thought, I know what I want, I just can't actually find it. Or worse, you buy something, it arrives, and it's completely wrong for the space. That is not a taste problem, it's a process problem. In my last video, I walked you through my full design map system, the entire framework for designing a space properly. Today we're zooming in because knowing the full step-by-step system is the foundation, but actually deciding on the right piece and knowing where and how to find it is the next level. So this video has two parts. First, I'm going to walk you through 3 visual boards I use to organize decisions clearly, so I know what I'm looking for. Then in part 2, I'll show you exactly how designers research and source the right pieces in the market using what we've defined. And I'm genuinely excited about this one because I've been using MILANOTE for the visual side of my process recently, and I absolutely love it. It's clean, it's intuitive, it's satisfying, and what's so well timed is that MILANOTE actually reached out to partner with me. So I've built this entire structure done for you into a template you can use. And there's also a link below if you want to try it for free, but let me show you how this works first. This is my home project page. The first thing I've done is create a column. Inside that column, I've added boards for each room: living room, bathroom, kitchen, bedroom. So I've also added a PDF of the house plans, an image of the layout, and everything lives visually in one place. No folders, no chaos, no endless tabs. Now let's go into the living room board. At the top, I've added a to-do list. You simply click to do, create the checklist, and drag it into place. And I love that you can just drag everything around visually. My checklist runs through the stages: assess the room, create mood board, define the plan requirements, select materials, develop research, complete selections, finalize purchasing, track delivery, install and style. This is the visual structure. The deeper step-by-step thinking lives inside my full design map system. But here we're focusing on clarity. Now we start visually. Adding images is simple. Drag them in or click add image. Then I click note, type observation like warm, layered, earthy, bright but grounded. You can change the color of the note, resize it, move it. It sounds small, but visually it's incredibly satisfying. Now here's something powerful. You can create a color card. Click color, use the swatch picker and pull tones directly from your inspiration pages. Now you can literally see your palette building. Greige, rust brown, dark brown. You can group them, rename them, stack them. If you're an aspiring designer, you can even draw arrows to show relationships. For homeowners, don't overcomplicate it, just extract themes. This board is about direction, not products. Now we move into structure. On this board, I've added the room layout. Then I click table to create a room budget. I add columns, item, quantity, size, budget, and I fill them in. This is critical because when I go shopping later, I'm not guessing. I know the sofa size, I know the exact budget. The material must align with the scheme. So beside that is the material board. You always start with what already exists. If you have light oak floors, that goes in. If you have black metal windows, that goes in too. Then you build around it. This prevents visual conflict, and again, you can pull colour swatches from materials. Rename them, organise them, everything is visible. Now we select. You'll see I've copied the room scheme to the top as a reminder. Then inside this board, I've created another board. That's nesting. This is MILANOTE's defining feature. You can nest boards inside boards inside boards. It's so cool. So I have my living room board with a design board and a product research board within it all visually organized. Next, I want to go to a retailer's website. I use the MILANOTE web clipper. In one click, it saves the image, the title, the link directly to the board I choose. It is a web extension and it makes research so easy. It saves time like you won't believe. And as you can tell, it's probably one of my favorite features. So if I want to manually add a link, I can do that too. Then, if I want to compare options, I can create columns, sofas, lighting, table, then I drag pieces between them, or simply add them all to the board and move them around. Then anything I don't love gets dragged and dropped into the product research board. That editing process is where clarity happens, and it feels really clean. Again, there is a link in the description to try it for free, so make sure to check it out. But now let's talk about shopping for the selected pieces, because that is where most people get stuck. Before you even think about brands, you use your board. From your table, you know the exact size, the exact material, the budget, the style language. So instead of searching cream sofa, you search 260 centimetres, warm ivory curved sofa, solid oak timber legs. Or use Google Shopping and type your full specification. Those specifics changes your results instantly. You are searching for clarity and not emotion. A powerful shortcut is to look at designers in your area. Search interior designer with your town or luxury renovation your country. Look at who they tag. Designers tag suppliers constantly. Those suppliers are vetted. If multiple designers are tagging the same joiner, lighting store, or upholstery brand, that's a signal. You can create a column inside MILANOTE for local suppliers, add links, add notes, add screenshots. You can build a really useful sourcing list for your project. Retailers curate by aesthetic. For example, Soho Home carries a strong mid-century modern, layered and warm aesthetic, whereas McGee & Co. reflect Studio McGee's bright transitional style. If your mood board aligns closely with one retailer's aesthetic language, you can source multiple key pieces there. And that's not lazy, that's cohesion. You do not need to shop at 15 stores to make a home look layered and designed. You can anchor with a sofa, a dining table, bedside tables, all from one retailer whose shapes and finishes align. And I don't mean everything matching, I mean everything aligned in a general style or mood. Then you can layer more personality through art, vintage pieces, travel finds, textiles. The most important thing to remember is the interest comes from your edit, not the store count. Buying online is not the problem. Buying blindly is. So generally, safe things to buy online is lighting, side tables, accessories, rugs from reputable suppliers with full fibre details, but be cautious with large upholstery unless you can order swatches. Online, you must always check the fabric composition, frame material, seat depth, delivery times, return policy. If a site hides specifications, that's a red flag. Save options to your MILANOTE board, compare them side by side. Custom is not about luxury, it's about solving spatial problems. Go bespoke when your room is narrow and a standard sofa depth doesn't fit. You need specific height alignment with windows. You want integrated storage. You're investing long term. For example, if your layout requires a sofa under 90 centimetres depth and retail options start at 95 centimetres, those few centimetres matter. That's when custom makes sense. Again, use MILANOTE to compare retail options, custom quotes, fabric samples, lead times, side by side. Now it's a logical decision. Vintage works best for solid wood furniture, accent chairs, coffee tables, decorative objects. Platforms like First Dibs or even local estate sales are great, but filter by dimensions first, not aesthetics. Save options into your board and compare them visually. Vintage should enhance your scheme, not compete with it. When your board looks like this, you're not asking, do I like this piece of furniture? You're asking, does this meet my scheme? Does it meet my requirements or my vision and design? That shift is everything. And remember, you don't need to buy everything in one day. A well-designed home evolves over time. But when your scheme is clear, you will recognize the right piece instantly. And a huge thank you to MILANOTE for partnering on this video. I genuinely love using this tool for visual projects. Check out the free link in the description. And as mentioned earlier, I've built this exact board structure into a done-for-you template, and it's inside my design map system. So if you want the full framework of what to do at every stage of designing a space, with this template included, that's linked below too.